What if I told you that your child, whether a son, a daughter, or none at all's, not just a part of your life, but a divine test, a gift, and a mirror of your soul's journey to Allah? That your family structure, your presence as a parent, your patience in not being one could either open the gates of Jannah or weigh you down in the scales of accountability. That how you raise, treat, and understand your children today echoes through the generations and into your hereafter. This is not just about parenting, it's about trust in Allah's decree, love without conditions, and worship through nurturing. Welcome to Islamic Echoes today. We're diving into the sacred trust that is parenting in Islam, the dignity of daughters, the responsibility of raising sons, and how everything begins and ends with Allah's wisdom. Allah, in His infinite wisdom, addresses our hearts and minds in Surah Ash-Shura verses 49 and 50. He says, "To Allah belongs the dominion of the heavens and the earth. He creates what He wills. He grants to whom He wills female children, and to whom He wills male children, or He grants both, and to whom He wills, He gives no children. Indeed, He is knowing and capable." These verses, though simple in language, carry the depth of divine truth. In this single passage, Allah dismantles our illusions of control, our biases, and our cultural preferences. Whether we are blessed with sons, daughters, both, or none at all, it is not our choice. It is Allah's. Allah uses the word yahabu to grant, to gift. A daughter is not a burden, a son is not a trophy. Each is a gift. And sometimes, not being given is itself a gift, in disguise a test, a purification, a different path to Jannah. Believer accepts, not passively, but without trusting that the one who writes our story knows where each page must begin and end. In cultures across history, and even today, we see the tragic mistake of favoring one gender over the other, and Allah speaks directly to this in the Quran. When one of them is given the news of a daughter, his face darkens, and he is filled with grief. He hides from the people due to the bad news. Allah calls this attitude not just wrong, but evil, because rejecting a child based on gender isn't just insulting the child, it's insulting the one who gave that child. You are saying to Allah, "I don't agree with what you've chosen for me." The Prophet Muhammad came to erase this ignorance from society, and yet, even today, we find it in hidden forms, treating sons as heirs and daughters as guests in our homes, favoring boys when spending, choosing to educate them more, or praising their achievements more publicly while overlooking the quiet virtues of our girls. If only we remembered that on the day of judgment, it will not be your child's gender that is questioned, it will be your justice. Islam came to reframe how we see children, especially daughters. In fact, there are multiple authentic hadith where the Prophet Muhammad praises those who raise daughters with love and dignity. He said, "Whoever is tested with daughters and treats them well, they will be a shield for him against the hellfire." Imagine that a daughter who perhaps today sits quietly at your dinner table, one day interceding for you in the court of Allah. The Prophet Muhammad also said, "Whoever has 3 daughters and remains patient with them, feeds them, clothes them, and shows them kindness, they will be a barrier for him from hell." In another narration, he said even to daughters, and even one daughter, could be your path to paradise if you raised them with care. You see, it's not about numbers. It's about the way you nurture. And nurturing isn't limited to feeding and clothing, it's about being present, involved, compassionate, and spiritually invested in your child's journey. Parents must also understand that children are not clones. Each child comes with their own temperament, intelligence, struggles, and dreams. True Islamic parenting is not about forcing a mold. It's about understanding the unique creation Allah has placed in your care. If you're a parent, listen carefully. You are a shepherd and your flock is your family. The Prophet Muhammad said, "Each of you is a shepherd, and each of you is responsible for your flock." The father is a shepherd over his household. The mother is a shepherd over her children. And even if you are not married, even if you have no children, you are still a shepherd over yourself. Self-accountability begins before parenthood. If you cannot lead your own soul with discipline, humility, and taqwa, how will you lead a household? How will you model the Quran to a curious child? Your example is louder than your words. Children don't follow lectures, they follow behavior. And if you are a child, young, grown, or in between, know this: your parents are a means to your Jannah, whether they are kind or difficult, religious or not, alive or passed on. Your behavior toward them is your test. The Prophet Muhammad placed dutifulness to parents just after worshipping Allah. He didn't say, if they are perfect. He didn't say, if they agree with you. He simply said, be dutiful. Now, let's address another reality. Some couples cannot have children. Some wait for years, others are told they never will. And to those hearts aching silently, we say this: you are not forgotten by Allah. His delay is not denial. His plans are not punishments. And perhaps He has written for you a path through which your Jannah will not come through raising a child, but through patience, through charity, through mentorship, or by being a light in someone else's child's life. Children are not the only gateway to purpose, but for those given children, remember, it's a test. That laughter, that tiny hand holding yours, that voice calling Api or Mama, each is a sign. How will you respond? With frustration, neglect, harshness, or Will you respond as the Prophet Muhammad did, with gentleness, hugs, attention, and love? When Fatima would enter the room, the Prophet Muhammad would stand up, kiss her forehead, and seat her in his own spot. That is prophetic parenting. That is honor. That is love. Dear brothers and sisters, today more than ever, our children are being pulled in 1,000 directions: media, peer pressure, confusion of identity, spiritual uncertainty. If you are not actively raising them, the world will. The world does not love them as you do. Be involved. Be consistent. Make dua for them, not just for grades, but for guidance. Understand this. Your parenting might not bear fruit immediately. You might not see it in 5 years or 10. But Allah sees every effort, and sometimes the seeds you plant today blossom long after you're gone. If this message reached your heart, then it was meant for you. Reflect deeply. What legacy are you building in your home, your heart, your future generations? Share this message with a parent, a son, a daughter, anyone who needs a reminder of what truly matters. Subscribe to Islamic Echoes, where we share timeless Islamic wisdom for our modern hearts. And in the comments, tell us, what's one lesson you learned from your parents or one you hope to pass to your children? May Allah grant us righteous offspring, patience in parenting, and a place in Jannah together as families, reunited under His mercy. Amen. Until next time, take care of your flock and take care of your soul.